welcome back to another video. It's Brianna Ray from BriIY here to bring you possibly a more budget-friendly option to a tool that I've had in my collection for a while. I am super nervous because it is way tinier than I was expected. I knew it was going to be mini, everyone said it was going to be mini, and it's still somehow minier than I was expecting. And this is a teeny tiny bookbinding tool. So I got one of these years ago, I think either from my mother or from my husband for my birthday. And it is a full-size thing. You can get all the holes to bind, or spiral bind a book kind of in one push, but this one's so tiny that you would need multiple. I haven't opened it yet and I'm super nervous to see what's going on in here, but the original one, which is the Cinch bookbinding machine, was over $80. I think it was about $85, but this guy was a whopping 15, 17 bucks depending on which source you got it from, and it fits in the palm of your hand, so it's also a lot more portable compared to the Cinch, which actually has a carrying handle because it's so large. So this I just snagged off of Amazon. And it's got a little basin for you to hold your, clippings once you bind all your bits in there. It's got, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, oh god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes at a time in it. And it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, these are specifically so that you can kind of stick it in here and keep your stuff lined up. Oh, wait, I put it in wrong. It goes in this way, so that when you kind of move your way down the paper, you can pop this up and you can stick the paper in there so that it stays lined up, which is, I mean, all things considered, do I think this little tiny thing is necessarily worth that amount of money? I don't actually know. I don't think so. This seems really tiny for 17, almost 20 bucks. But if it works, it's definitely cheaper than the Cinch. So I want to give it a test, and we're gonna get to printing because I think I've been rambling in this introduction just a touch too long. No directions too, that's always a really good sign. Not only are you going to need the tool to punch the holes, you're also going to need some bindings. I just have these simple little white ones. I got this in a ridiculous pack of 30 of them. And I don't really have a lot of these. I don't do a whole lot of bookbinding projects. This might even be a little bit too small for the project that I'm going for because I was hoping to double up on pages. If not, of course, I can always reprint in full-size pages. I just think it'll be more fun this way. So I've got my laminator going, and I'm laminating all of these guidebook pages that I got off of Etsy for astrology and tarot. That's something, of course, I've kind of been into lately, but the way, you can use Adobe to print booklets so that when you fold it in half, you can open it up and it takes you through everything. So I was going to use that feature to kind of make sure everything was lined up already for me, and I'm just going to cut down the sides and use this to kind of create my book because I think it'll be fun and exciting. So okay, I'm going to keep this super brief, but basically once you know what you want to print as a booklet, you're going to go over to the print function or hit Control P on a PC, Command P on a Mac. Make sure you're hooked up to your printer. So this little booklet here that I want to do is 31 pages. I do want to print all of them, so we're going to keep that on all. Down here, under sizing and handling, we have size, poster, multiple, and booklet. You're going to click on booklet, and it's going to automatically restructure your pages so that they're kind of in halvesies, so that you can do that fold in half, and you can preview everything right here. And click through everything. So it says here it's going to take 16 sheets of paper. That's not bad at all. Booklet subset both sides. You can also do front side only, back side only. Binding is wherever you're going to bind it. So if you're going to bind it from the top, then it's going to print a little bit differently. Obviously, I'm going to keep mine like a book, print it on the left, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, here we have it. This is basically what it's going to look like. I normally keep all my settings the same and don't mess with it because, trust me, the program knows better than you do. Trust me, the program knows better than you do. In the interest of full disclosure, this does require double-sided printing. If you don't have double-sided printing, just check your printer settings. Sometimes you'll get this sort of pop-up when you want to print on both sides of a printer that doesn't support double-sided printing, like mine does not. So what it'll have you do is it'll basically print out all of just the one side, which you can hear it doing in the background right now. And you can see it'll tell you, it'll highlight this red upper corner here and show you how to place it back in your printer so that it'll print out correctly on the back side. And once you hit continue, it'll simply go through again. So this is how I double-sided print on my printer that only allows single-side printing. So originally I was going to laminate all the pages with just these, you know, laminating bits here and bobs. And then as I was doing the cutting, I realized that when they go in like slightly different areas, they don't cut fully down the center, and it just made it really annoying to try to deal with. So I decided I'm not going to deal with it anymore. Obviously you can. I also heard that because it's such a tiny machine, it can only, you know, what's the word? It can only punch holes through like 2 sheets at a time, and with the added plastic, it might be 1 sheet at a time. I also wanted to show you guys that I found out something super cool the other day, and that is that if you have your laminator on a higher setting, you can actually run 2 separate laminating things through your laminator at the same time, and they don't get stuck together. So I'm just going to do this to kind of show proof of concept, because I think that's super cool. Just make sure that when you put it through, you do have it on the high setting, but look at that, totally separate and fully fused. No loosey-goosey messes. So yeah, but make sure again that it's on the highest setting, otherwise it's gonna get all wrinkly, crinkly, and it's not gonna flatten nice and pretty. So I am going to keep my cover page laminated. It's just this random design that I got off of Canva. And I'm gonna back it with some chipboard. One, because I wanna see how well this tiny little baby can handle chipboard, and also so that it can, you know, again, be a little bit sturdier. These are a little bit wider than the pages of the book that are going to be on the interior as well. Let's start first with our cover page. This is a piece of cardstock that is laminated, so it's definitely a fair bit thicker. So I'm going to start by pushing these 2 guys down. It looks like maybe I don't want to do that because I want to make sure it doesn't slide too far or like out of bounds basically. So if I pop one of those open, then it has something to rest against. And I'm just going to make sure it's nice and far as back as possible. I'm going to zoom you in. Bada boom. So it's forming like a kind of a nice line there. This is the direction I want it because I want this moon facing that way. So I've lined it up against the back and against this dot, and I'm just gonna press down. And I will say, I know that I said that, you know, this is kind of expensive for what it is, but it is metal, it's not plastic. They also bragged that each of these bobs in here was individually cast instead of all cast together, so that's cool. Now I need to pop this in again, and this time I need to put this circle right on top of this last hole. Actually, I wonder if I have to go one in because... yeah, so it's gonna have to be on the second to last hole so that when I press down again, wait, make sure it's nice and lined up. Yep. Then I can peel it off again and it'll continue nice and straight. So again, I'm gonna go for that second to last hole, not the last hole. It slots in nicely. It shouldn't have any issues lining up because it's already been lined up once before, and flip through. Pull it out. Last one, probably. Now here's actually what I don't like, because I don't want it to go all the way. Do I need it to go all the way? Actually, I think I do. I think I do need it to go all the way because, I mean, it's not like this is gonna stop. It keeps going until I cut it. So yeah, actually, we're gonna need to add some more on both sides, really. So, okay, well, let's just go into the second to last here again. Clip, take us all the way to the top. It actually overlaps a little bit. Great, hate that. I really do, but it's fine. And for down here, I'm gonna actually pop this one back in, pop this one out. That way it can lay flat and I can do a little bit of overlap here. Line it up and pop it down on the other side. That way it pulls all the way down. And just like that, we're ready for this. And now all you would in theory have to do is take your spiral binding and spiral it all the way through. And obviously I'm not going to do that yet because I still need to do all of my papers. Oh gosh. Let's do the chipboard test first. So obviously it works fine on cardstock with lamination. So that's good. Let's do this test. Okay. Again, just gonna pop this up, pull this for straightenings. Nope. No, sir, that is not going to fit. Let's head over to this guy, and instead of doing that chipboard test, I want to see how many pages I can do at a time. So obviously we know this is already thicker, so I'm going to start with 2 printer sheets. Okay, so 2 pages works just fine. 1, 2, 3 pages. Four sheets works. I was almost about to say that 5 works, but when I shoved 5 all the way in, you can see it actually stopped pushing that top sheet in towards the back. So yes, 4 is your limit here. 3, 4. 4, that's your limit. I'm actually really afraid of how long this is going to be because I feel like I keep rambling this video, but you can see I've got tons of little pieces down here. I actually quite liked doing the laminated paper because it slipped in and out so nice. I used a whiteboard marker to mark how big I needed my back bit to be. And I also, just for convenience, continuously strung all of my pages through just like a single point here. That way they all lined up. Even the pieces, I had a couple that really came out not so great. So I wanted to do this just to make sure that we still had all of our pieces. Well, the one thing that's nice about the Cinch that you get for that like 80 bucks is instead of having these like spiral coils that you have to spiral through by yourself basically, they have these like crimpable ones, and the machine also like pops it in there like super quick and easy for you. All right, got our little halvesy through here. Not too bad looking. It took me exactly 1 minute. Now I'm just gonna go in here towards the end and snip. And kind of get a nice twist. And now I can take this back page and flip it to the actual back. And that's that. We have ourselves a little tarot guidebook, spiral bound. And there we have it, all done with this teeny tiny little book. So I've got my cheat sheets. Astrology in Depth starts back here. Tarot Basics starts here. And Tarot Spreads starts here. And I can flip through my book. I can use it to take notes. And I'm actually really excited about this too because I just got this set of astrology dice and I'm really excited to have just like a simple cheat sheet. Overall, I am happy with it, actually. Obviously, the holes it made were pretty good. It overlapped very nicely. Having the ability to space everything correctly with these little side bits is nice, and they do separate out in case, you know, they need to be put somewhere else or stored a little more flatly. It can come flat. It came with this little, like, you know, plastic bit around it, so if we need to like keep it closed, we can. I think maybe that's one thing it could have had, is like something that keeps it closed so it doesn't have to take up so much wide space. But I mean, it did everything it said it was going to do. Right now I'm looking at it in different colors. It's a little bit less or more expensive, with like the cheapest one being 17 bucks and the most expensive one being 21. The pink one was 19. There's a 10% coupon right now. So really not a bad deal compared to how expensive the Cinch is. And these guys I got in a pack of 30 for, these are 8mm coils, and I got a pack of 30 for I think $8.99. And I had it on a Black Friday deal actually, so it was even a little less than that. I want to say it was like $6 or something. And of course I do still have the second one to do another like half size book, so I can keep this and it doesn't have to go to waste. So looking at it right now, the Cinch bookbinding machine is $85.95 on Amazon right now. It looks like they have different versions of it that can get over $100, but I'm gonna say for the cheapest option, there is that $85 one. There is an off-brand one that again just kind of makes the holes, doesn't really do the crunching part of it. That's $50 right now with a $5 coupon, but still this one's a little bit cheaper. So if you want to do just a couple of tiny projects for yourself or for friends and family, it's not a bad investment if you just want to kind of test it out and even see if you like it, or make, you know, little tiny gifts. This would be really great for scrapbooks, obviously cheat sheets, school projects, if you have little ones who are maybe making their own books. I know when I was little, I loved making my own books, and I would always try to open up my stapler and then staple the centers. This is just really fun and really cool. It's also infinitely faster than going along and punching all of your own holes. Plus this one has the spacers. So all in all, if bookbinding is what you're trying to do, simply put, this does things that the hole punch alone cannot do, and it's a way easier quality of life upgrade as well. The annoying thing obviously is continuously getting the coils. I think that's expensive depending on how many books you're making, even if you have a Cinch machine, because, you know, the coils like this do have to be hand wound. You can't use the clamp ones necessarily, but all things considered, I'm impressed with the price. I think it's a good deal if you're doing some simple one-off projects and don't want to drop a whole big bunch of money if you don't do a lot of bookbinding all at once. So definitely I would call this one a win for me. I do think that there's maybe some changes that could be done to it, but I do like this. The front will actually open up so I can go dump all of my bits and bobs out, and it'll be ready for the next time I need it. And it's compact. It fits in the palm of my hand. You can't really beat that. So I think I'm done rambling finally. I'm going to hate myself when I'm editing this video later, but thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I do put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I would love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you then. Bye.